Hey everybody, welcome to the Underground Agency Secrets. We're going to begin shortly, but I appreciate the early birds that get on here a few minutes early just because once 2 o'clock Eastern hits, it kind of clogs up everything. So I am excited. I hope you are excited. And I wanted to, before we get going, the people that get on here early, if you can hear me, just type in, you'll see a chat bar. Just type, I can hear you, Joe. That way I know I am just not talking aimlessly to nobody. So I really would appreciate it. And we will get started very, very shortly here with the Underground Agency Secrets. Can't wait. Can't wait. All right, awesome. Thanks, guys, for letting me know that I am audible. Now, for any reason you have any audio or video issues, it doesn't happen often, but if you do, there will be a reconnect button on your screen, and then just hit that. That'll take care of really any issues. While we're doing the training, that will take care of it. And let's see here. Type in a couple things. And I don't know if it depends on somebody's computer or what, but a few people, I usually have a couple each time that they have some issues, and I don't know if it's an internet thing or what happens. But if it happens to you, don't fret. Just hit reconnect, and that will generally, as far as I know, always take care of the issue. I haven't had anybody tell me it doesn't. So really excited. Hope you're excited to be here. While we're waiting, something I like to do for fun is if you can tell me what state you are from and what beverage or food item is in front of you right now. I always like to see what different states are doing what this time of day. 2 o'clock on the East Coast, that means what, 11 o'clock almost on the West, and anywhere in between. I am drinking a iced macchiato from Dunkin' Donuts out here in New York. I never spell macchiato right, I don't think. I think it's 2 C's, right? I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. Let's see. We got lots of water. We got water in North Carolina, Utah, Pennsylvania, North Carolina again. A couple people from North Carolina. And we got Kentucky. We got Pepsi. Florida, eating carrots. That is healthy. That is healthy. I need to do more of that. I need to eat more vegetables. All right, let me see where we're at as far as people showing up here. Right now is kind of where the log jam happens. So everybody tries to get in at 2 o'clock. So we might give it an extra minute or two for those people. But before we get started, what are you guys excited about hearing about today? What kind of enticed you? Was it the lead generation? Was it the staffing component? Was it the not having to buy leads again? What are you looking forward to learning today? Yeah, a lot of people for lead generation. Absolutely. Not buying leads. Yep. Yep. And we're gonna definitely address that today. You betcha. And I'll get into this a little bit when we actually start the training, but it didn't take me long. It took a lot of money, but it didn't take me long to realize I could not survive as an agent paying a lot for leads. So I had to pretty much just not do it altogether. So that's what we're going to talk a lot about today. And, so I'm excited about it. And I hope you guys are too, because we got some great information to share. And it's 2 o'clock on the dot. I'm going to give it another minute or two. Just I got more people filing in. And if they're not here by 2:02, which is about a minute from now, we're just going to kind of start rolling and let them filter in as they come. Okay, about 30 more seconds or so. Hi, Lena. Did I say it right, Lena, or is it Lana? Say yes if it's Lena and no if it's Lana. All right. It is a couple minutes past 2. Okay, so it's Lana. All right. Sorry about that. All right, so we are going to get going on the Underground Agency secrets. And really what I want to talk to you guys about today is how we can sell more policies than 10 top-notch sales producers automatically with these secrets. And that's not going to be hiring new staff or spending more money on leads. So yay for that. All right, so really, let me tell you a little bit about what I want to accomplish, my goal for today. My goal today is to leave you with real practical information that you can implement immediately. All right. This is not just a bunch of generalized info that I'm going to tell you, here's some theories that you've learned in the past, and I'm just going to reiterate it. I want to show you actual implementation and theory behind that and how you can start implementing it today in your agency. All right, so that's kind of my goal. And, the reason I like to think that my stuff is a little bit different is just because of that, is the implementation part. Because, we all can sit on trainings and we can go to any type of seminars and learn all we want to. But the reality is, unless we're implementing, it makes no difference. So I actually not just focus mainly on the training portion, but I really hammer hard on the implementation and the step-by-step kind of hand-holding in a way as best I can in this type of environment. So that's why my trainings are a little bit different, is because of the implementation portion. All right. And now, of course, the biggest thing with any type of training is I always want you guys to kind of stick it out and see all the information. So if you do stay until the end, you got a couple of cool things from me already, hopefully in the email. If not, I can get that to you and I'll tell you how to do that later. But I'm also going to give you a couple cool tools to use in your agency today as well. So if you stay until the end, and you can commit to that, I will go ahead and give you that. And I'll show you some really, really cool stuff as well. So if you are planning and you want to do that, you want to check this stuff out and you want to commit, I would like you to just type in commit in the chat bar. That way I know you're committed to staying to the end and you want to get those free resources today. All right. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about myself. All right. So my name is Joe Davis. All right, that's my family. It's my wife, Megan, and my 2 kids. Okay, and I started in the industry when I was 21 years old, right out of college, and it was my first job. I worked at a call center as a customer service rep. If anybody that's worked at a call center, you know how fun, quote unquote, that can be. But I learned a lot of great things. Okay. So I started in the industry when I was 21, did it all from call center to telemarketing to sales, management, and then eventually was an agency owner. All right. And then I decided to sell my agency and do this full time. And there was a few reasons for that. The company I worked for, as much as they liked me, said I could not do both full time, and that was fine. And I really enjoy coaching. I really enjoy seeing success happen with the agents I work with. So I did decide to sell my agency and do this full time. So that's where I am at today. And I really focus on taking any agent to their next level. And why do I go ahead and underline there? Because I don't believe in coaches or trainers that tell you, I want to get you to 100 items. I want to get you to 200 items. I want to get you to 50, because the reality is I have clients and agents all over the country. All right. I have some in Long Island where they are ecstatic if they sell 40 cars in a month. And I have clients in Texas where if they sold 40 cars a month, they would be in a panic mode. So I want to take you to your next level, and everything I train, everything I do is for that purpose. All right. So you're never going to see me stake a claim out there of you're going to write X amount of policies, because anybody that tells you that is lying if it's just a generalized thing, because it's just different wherever you are. All right. And it makes up with premium, of course, too. Now, I will say some numbers. The average agent I work with does write about 86 items per month. I do have a lot in the city, and they have lower numbers, which is probably what brings that down a little bit, but some over 200. All right. So it really just depends. You can't focus on those numbers. You got to focus on where you want to be. And that's where we're going to help you out today. All right. So after doing this in this business for 10 plus years, I have realized a couple of things. And if any of these ring out to you, I want you to just type a big yes with an exclamation point. First of all, I realized almost every lead or list I bought was a lie. Okay. Definitely learned that pretty early on. It took me some money to learn that, but I learned it. Okay. Also, never assume your staff thinks like you do or thinks at all sometimes. All right. Once again, if any of these relate to you, just type a big yes in there, so I know I'm not alone. Okay. And then the last thing, and this is more of a question, is what do you guys think is the number one misused asset an insurance agent or even a business owner is? What do you think the number one misused asset is in an insurance agency? I'll give you guys a couple of seconds. I want to get some answers flowing here, because I like to see where people's thoughts are. So what do you think the number one misused asset is as an insurance agency? My man Tom got it right off the bat. All right. Tom said it. It is time. Time is the number one. And a bunch of you actually said it too. A bunch of you said this. But I got to give props to Tom. He was the first one. So time is the number one misused asset in an insurance agency or any business for that matter. All right. And so I want you to keep that in mind as we're going through this training, because it's all going to kind of come down to that. All right. So I finally realized that I was doing almost everything I could think of the hard way. Okay. Now, what is the hard way? All right. Once again, I want you to tell me yes if any of this sounds familiar to you. And that's just, affirmation that I'm not crazy. So first of all, the hard way, buying $1,000 or even more a month in leads or lists. Okay. I don't know if any of you have ever done that before. Having my staff cold call and hound people aimlessly, right? Creating frustration with myself, staff, the prospects, and so on and so forth. Having to micromanage every aspect of my agency. Okay. I had to know what was going on, but micromanaging, once again, that's the ineffective use of time, frustrating, and, organizationally is just not a great way to go for a small business. All right. And then lastly, wasting time on things that I, the agent, should not have been doing. It took me a long time to do that. And it's way more than just delegating things to somebody. Okay. Any of this sound familiar to you guys? Getting a lot of yeses here. All right, cool. So first, I do want to do this because I have to, because this is a public forum, some legal junk for you. So I will read this out to you, and I want you to notice the words here, because I truly, even though I have to do this, I actually mean this. All right. So I'm going to walk you through some specific training systems, processes that are earning really good, huge sales numbers for many agents. Mine and my clients' results are not typical, and the average person who attends any training gets very little results, as they usually do not implement any of the strategies taught. However, I'm happy to show you exactly what's working for us free. All right. Notice you have to pay to get on here today. But I will note, this is not for people that are looking to get rich quick. This is not some type of work from home biz opportunity. All right. Because there's a lot of that online, or amateurs. This is only intended for insurance professionals, agents, or people that work in the industry, or even sometimes they'll get people that are looking to buy an agency that are in here, which is fine. Absolutely fine. You need to be an insurance professional. I'm not gonna try to steer you in any other direction. All right. So, number one mistake. I want to start with this. Before we get into the 3 secrets, I'm going to hit you with some information off the bat here. Okay. The number one mistake agents make in their marketing, and it's so obvious, but us in the industry and myself as well, I didn't really get this a lot until I stepped back. All right. So the number one mistake, and I got a picture of myself here, and that picture is a video I did, but I'll kind of explain it. All right. So this is a customer flow process. All right, so the number one mistake I see in any marketing, and I don't care if that marketing is direct mail, if it's a commercial on TV, if it's radio advertisement, if it's email, social media, I don't care what it is. Where do we always go first? We always want to get a quote for their insurance or make them aware of something we're selling. All right, we always try to make them product aware first. And in a customer flow process and a customer's mind, that doesn't cut it. The problem is we don't make them aware of the issue. So we don't make them problem aware first. All right. So the number one mistake people do is, if you're especially a lot of places are harping on price. And so if our agency, knows that either A, our price might not be the best, but our coverages for the price are the best, we need to make them aware of the problem first. And now doing that doesn't mean, you could have really bad coverages. So come to us and we can review your coverages and make sure you're protected. The customer doesn't know why they need to be protected. So we need to make them problem aware first. One question, and I hope you got your notebooks out because here's where we're going to start taking notes. The one way you always kind of want to lead this off is just a pretty simple question that has nothing to do with insurance, all right, on your marketing. And it's basically, it can start as something like, would you be prepared if you got sued for everything? Or would you be prepared if you got sued for your house? Would you be prepared if you lost it all? Of course, nobody's going to say yes to that, right? But what that does is now you're making them problem aware. You move to the next step, which is solution aware. Well, did you understand that your home or your auto insurance coverage actually can prevent that from happening? Because you can lose it all in a lawsuit based on an auto accident or a home insurance liability claim. So now you've made them solution aware. Now, after you've made them problem aware, you've made them solution aware. Now, here's the product I have to protect you, hopefully resulting in a transaction. All right. And this is real basic stuff, guys, but it's stuff that we just don't think about because we're just every day grinding to get our product out there, to get our name out there, to get quotes generated. But this is key. You have to understand this customer flow process in absolutely anything you're doing in marketing, anything at all. Okay, I hope that makes sense. That makes sense to you guys? Why we don't want to jump right into product aware first. We don't want to say, hey, let's quote your life insurance. I want to quote your home insurance. They don't understand why they need to do that. We need to understand the why before we can give them the what. All right, so I hope that makes sense. That's not even part of the 3 secrets. That's just something I wanted to start you guys off with today. Okay, but let's go right into the 3 secrets. Okay, so the 3 secrets of the underground agency. So we're going to hit them first, and then we'll go through each one individually. All right, so secret number 1 is understanding how to have leads contact you instead of having to cold call or hound them. That's the first thing we're going to go over today. All right, pretty awesome, right? Secret number 2, create a productive staff that is working with a purpose every day and wants to achieve the same goal as you do. How nice would that be, guys, if you walked into your office and you knew the goals you had in mind and your staff was right behind you and they wanted to achieve the same exact goals with the same exact enthusiasm. By the end of today, you're going to understand how to do that. All right. And that's the key to having a productive staff. And then lastly, but definitely probably most important, secret 3, finding leads you already have access to that you never knew about, so you never have to buy a lead or list again. And this is going to be something that we call holes in the bucket, and I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so pretty awesome, right, guys? I'm excited to show this to you and kind of share it with you. And pay attention, for note-taking purposes. And I also ask some questions, and we do some fun stuff throughout. So let's get on to secret number 1. And that, of course, is understanding how to have leads contact you instead of having to cold call or hound them. And so the first thing we do here, guys, is I want to talk to you briefly. Here's another question, prospect versus a lead. What is the difference? What do you guys think is the difference? Tell me what you think a prospect is versus a lead. And you can choose either one to tell me what you think the definition of it is. And obviously, my definition is not like a hard, definition of it, but it's just my premise and how I've always thought and how it's worked for me. So what is the difference in your mind between a prospect and a lead? Give you a couple minutes to answer there. I always like to see, the different responses I get on this. Prospect versus a lead. Okay, getting some good answers here. I like that. That's a good way to lead. And I'll give you my answer in a minute, but some of these are good. Lead equals stranger, prospect equals dating. Lead is able and desires your product. Lead is someone who may be interested. Prospect is somebody who's already received a quote. Prospect, we reach out to them. Do you see how we're getting both sides of the spectrum here, guys? A prospect is who you want to go after, and a lead is somebody you've warmed up to. A lead is somebody that will probably buy. Prospect equals interest. Lead equals maybe interested but not sure. See, we're getting completely different sides of the spectrum, which is why I love bringing this topic up, right? Because not everybody thinks it's the same thing. Here's how I have always seen it. Okay, a prospect is basically minimal information. They're pretty cold. A prospect is somebody you might get a name, a phone number, an address. Heck, you might even know what kind of vehicle they drive. If you go on a source like Cold Directory or Sales Genie, something of that nature, you can buy a prospect list, right? They even call it that. They call it a prospect list, because you have their information. Whereas a lead is somebody that actually is interested in your services. They're interested in talking to you. Some are warmer than others, of course, but that's the difference. So all of those people on this right now that talked earlier about they don't want to pay for leads anymore, let's take a look at an internet lead. Do you feel now, if you take my definition, all right, and don't worry about yours right now, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying based on my definition, when you're paying $15 to $20 for an internet lead, are you getting a lead or are you getting a prospect? What do you think? Are you getting a lead or a prospect? Okay. The answer is you're getting a prospect for $15, whereas you'd go on Sales Genie and buy 300 prospects for $50. All right. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? And like I said, I don't want to say any of you are wrong for what you said. Definitions, it depends on the person, but that's what you're getting. So your internet quote unquote leads are really just prospects. You're just getting charged a lot for them. Okay. And so that's why I want to, in fact, somebody said something here that kind of rung out to me. If I can't find it quick, I won't worry about it. Let's see. Some man prospects. I'm sorry. Prospect. Okay, yeah. So, and I won't say the name because I don't want to pick on anybody. But they had the right answer. Prospect is who you want to go after, and a lead is someone you have warmed up to. That pretty much is a great definition of what I was saying. In fact, it's a good thing. So Brandy said that, and I agree with that. So, but saying that, how many times have you bought an internet lead lately, and they're warmed up to you? How many times? You don't have to answer. It's kind of a rhetorical question. But anyway, I want you to go on the premise that's a prospect versus a lead. Okay. All right. So how do we do this? How do we have leads contact you instead of having to cold call or hound them? So we do have to respect the fact that there is a prospect at first before they're a lead. Okay. So how do we get a prospect? So first and foremost, laser focused targeting of the prospects you want. So that means it doesn't matter what your current book of business is. All right. I bought an old book of business and I wanted to go after younger demographics. So that's who I targeted. All right. So you need to laser focus the target, the prospects you want. All right. So if you want a younger generation that's online, you have to do less service, which is what I went after. You have to laser focus your targeting on those prospects. If you want an older clientele where you can maybe roll over some 401ks and that's your MO, that's fine. You need to laser focus those targets of those prospects. And the reality is when I see marketing out there of any kind, it's pretty generalized and blanket. So you got to realize that you need to sacrifice appealing to masses to get more specified, because then your close rates go way up and your conversion rates go way up. All right. So targeting, being laser focused on that targeting of the prospects you actually want is key. So you got to define what prospects you want. And you have permission to do whatever you want with that. It's your business. Okay. Now, once you do that and you laser focus the type of prospect you want, you have to create that perfect message to those prospects. If you want to advertise online via social media, website, banner ads, whatever it may be, you probably shouldn't have prospects dreamed of that are, 55, 60 years old. They're not going to be there. All right. But if you like the idea of direct mail, or if you like to be in a newspaper or something of that nature, which we'll get to in a minute, then maybe you would. All right. So you got to create the perfect message to those prospects and you got to talk to them specifically. All right. And then lastly, you got to make a systematic requoting plan that you do every single month. That was the key to my success. All right. Was that I realized that it's, what we need to do is we need to follow up month after month, because follow up is where it all falls apart. We're going to talk more about that. In fact, that's one of the perks I'm going to give you. Stay till the end. I'm going to show you our key follow-up process we use in the agency. All right, but you got to have a systematic requoting plan that you do month in and month out. All right, and lastly, all this comes together as creating one stellar marketing campaign, which I'm going to show you how to do, that works no matter the product you want to focus on over and over. So I don't care if it's auto, I don't care if it's life, if it's financials, it makes no difference. This all needs to be created into one marketing campaign, and it's going to be eventually a plug and play map. Once you set the campaign up once, you can plug and play the different aspects in it. All right, so I'm going to show you what that's all about too. All right, so all of this is built off of something called a direct response model. Write that phrase down, direct response model. All right, and that means that you are getting the prospects to respond to you, so you're not cold calling anymore. All right, so let's move on to secret 2, which is create a productive staff that is working with a purpose every day and wants to achieve the same goal as you. Who here has ever had an issue or is currently having an issue with staff? Type in yes if you are having any issues at all with staff. And if you're not, that's awesome. Yeah, because a lot of people. So, usually you're going to see when it comes down to staff, it comes down only a few things. All right. And so let's start with really, I think, some of you guys are killing me every freaking day. So let's fix some of this. Okay. So let's create a productive staff that's working with a purpose. All right. Yes, and somebody here is just a producer. That's good. You do not have staff problems yet. All right. All right. So what do you guys think the #1 mistake owners make with small business staff? What do you think the #1 mistake is? #1 mistake the owners make with small business staff. Or maybe it's you. If you're humble enough, what's the #1 mistake you've made with your staff? I could make a list. That's for sure. Okay, we got some. Okay, keeping them motivated, processes, pay, motivation, timeliness, hiring the wrong people. Yes, that's a big one. That's a big one. Yep. Thinking, yeah, that's a good point. Someone said thinking they can do what I do. That's a good one. These are all awesome answers. In fact, guys, this is a trick question. So basically, the #1 mistake is they treat them like small business staff. And I put in parentheses here, and I'm going to explain this. Treat one like 100. So all of you guys are right. All right. All your answers you just put up there are absolutely correct. In fact, we could probably sit here for another hour and just go through one by one what the issue is. But here's the reality. What I discovered, because I had a lot of staff issues, and it was everything you guys mentioned and more. What I realized is you need to start treating your small business staff, even if you got one, you need to treat it like 100. What that means, okay? That means that any type of processes, which somebody mentioned processes, absolutely 1000% need to be black and white. All right. Even as something as simple as doing a car change, taking a payment, doing any type of information change, doing a quote, following up, anything, claims, needs to be a black and white process written down so you can set the right expectations. Okay. And that comes down to compensation. You need to have a compensation structure, which I'm going to give you a little bit more than that in a couple bullets. But it needs to be black and white. So you need to run, even though I don't care if you have 1 staff member, 2 staff members, 3 staff members, whatever, you need to run it like you have a Fortune 500 company that you're running. It needs to be that type of black and white with a process manual. Okay. I know that seems tedious. We're going to go through how to easily do that. But once you do that, the expectations are set and there's little room for error. And it's very clear what's expected of everybody. All right. Now, the other thing we got to remember with staff is you are the leader and they are the employee, which we tend to forget that, especially in a small business environment. We either become friends with them, right? Or, we get involved in their lives because it is a small office. But you're the leader and they are the employee. Notice I didn't put boss here. I put leader because they're going to look to you. If you're coming in every day kind of grumbling because the sales aren't up or in a bad mood because, your pay wasn't what you expected for the month, they're going to follow right after that. A leader comes in every single day. Write this down. A leader comes in every single day with a bulletproof vest on that no negativity can penetrate. All right. Come in with your bulletproof vest on every day. After I mean it, guys, after 2-3 days like this, coming in with super energy, smile on your face. I don't care if you feel like crap inside. If you do that for just a couple of days, they are going to follow you. All right. You're going to find out quickly who's supposed to be there. All right. But also as the leader, you have some responsibilities, right? It's your job to know what they're doing, which we talked about how much of a pain micromanagement is, but you need to know what they're doing. That's why going back to bullet 1, the black and white processes are so important because now you don't have to lay out every day what their job duties are. They should know it already if you have those processes in place. The other thing, you need to know if they're going to leave so you are not left in the dust. One thing I did, and I'll show you guys how to get access to it in a little bit. I used to do interviews after they were employed, right? So not employer reviews, but literally interviews where I would ask them very specific questions. And off of those questions, I would get a gauge on how long they're going to be with me. And it always worked. I knew I had a couple lifers. I knew somebody, it was funny. They came in to me and said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I said, yep. When's your last day? Because they thought they were pulling the wool over my eyes, but I knew without a doubt they're about to leave, and I was prepared for it. So it's your job to know if they're going to leave. All right. And here's the other third, but very cool bullet point. And the person who said they're a producer, who also is Brandy, who gave an awesome answer earlier. Brandy, I want you to let me know if this sounds right. You want to make them happy in a productive way, right? How cool would it be to have your staff come in happy in a productive way? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by a productive way? All right, here's the reality. Us as human beings and employees, we want to impress the boss. We want to do well because we want to succeed ourselves as an employee, okay? So what you do, no more cold calling or hounding people. My goal for you guys, and I wish you could see my hands right now because this is how serious I am. After this training and after what we talk about today, I literally want you to be able to go to your staff within a week, or maybe even today, and say, you know what, guys, we're not cold calling anymore. We're not telemarketing. We're not going to hound people. We're going to do this instead. All right. Because once you stop, having your staff cold call or hound people, then they get less stressed because it is so stressful and just depressing to get hung up on 40 times in a day. Like, it is awful, absolutely awful. So no more cold calling or hounding prospects. And we do this by those direct response only methods that we talked about previously, and we're going to talk about again here in a minute. All right. So that's how you're going to make them productive in a happy way. All right. The other thing I learned about staff that darn near made me go bankrupt, besides the internet leads, was make sure you never get put in the position to be overstaffed or understaffed again. And that's going to come by doing those interval interviews. All right. That keeping up with them, seeing what they're doing, seeing how long they're going to stay. The processes, those black and white processes that I keep harping on, those are going to be set up to be an efficiency tool. So you know exactly how many staff you need to perform those processes. All right. Because you can never, guys, you never get put in the position to be overstaffed or understaffed. All right. You just can't afford to do it. Now, the next part is paying them fairly. And I don't mean, you want to start really paying them well. And I'm not saying pay them poor either, but pay them fairly. So when I kind of revamped my agency, I made it very clear. Salespeople were on a draw commission only. All right. So a draw, if you guys are unfamiliar, the draw commission plan gives them upfront money, so they're not going hungry each week, and then their commissions go against it. And we all know what 100% commission is, which I will say 100% commission is tough to sell for an employee. All right, I get that, so don't worry about it. But the draw is a much easier sell. Okay, and so for sales, they had to be draw or commission based. Now that means that they get paid a good commission too. And I have scales and everything set up that I'll show you guys. All right, how to access those. And also for the agency, total success for the non-sales people. So you obviously have, customer service rep, a manager, an administrative assistant, whatever, that's not sales. You need to still pay them on total success for the agency in a bonus format. And that could be monthly bonus, weekly bonus, quarterly, whatever. But once you do this and everybody's in on a financial reward for the total success of the agency sales and growth, then there's a team environment happening. All right. And that team environment is what carries it on. All right. So you need to go ahead and look at how you're paying your sales staff and your non-sales staff and really just connect the dots for one singular goal. All right. And that's going to create that team atmosphere. And lastly, and maybe very most importantly, specific jobs do not combine too many tasks on one person. Now, I understand if you only have one or two staff members, this is almost darn near impossible, but do it the best you can. I had, three full-time and a part-time. I didn't carry any more staff than that. My full-time sales producer, which I'll show you some numbers that'll blow you away on what he was writing, his phone did not receive a call unless it was transferred in. Never had my sales guy touch service, ever. Number one, he wasn't good at it. Number two, I wanted him to only focus on sales. And that was even pre and post sales stuff. I had somebody else doing it. All right. So you need to do that to the best of your ability. Same with the customer service rep. They shouldn't be quoting people, even if they're licensed. I understand that it might have to happen once in a while, but once again, that can bog them down. All right. And then, of course, the manager needs to oversee it all if that's the staff setup you have. Specific jobs, I understand that, a lot of companies are preaching this, and they are right. Made a huge, huge difference. And you got to do this the best of your ability. Like I said, I know it's not, absolutely feasible for everybody, but as best as you can. Heck, if you got only 2 staff members, break hours. Say, hey, Jane's not going to be on the phone for these 3 hours. You're going to either have to let the calls go to voicemail, which it's okay if you do that, guys. It's okay to have people leave a message. They get it. They understand. Or you're going to have to just take extra calls. All right. So what about the sales? All right. So here's some numbers. I want to tell you a little bit about my story, how I failed and then came back. Okay. So I listened to experts and corporate, and that really sunk me because I bought leads, I telemarketed, I hounded the prospects, took up way too much time and my staff's energy. But then I realized I need to do things a little different. And that's when I developed these underground agency secrets, although I didn't really realize it at the time that I did this. Okay. But it was interesting how it worked. So my new way, and kind of what I've explained to you, is every prospect would have been introduced to us before we even talked to them. Because remember, we narrowed our prospects, who we wanted, we wrote a message to them exactly, and we marketed to them the right way. So they all knew who we were. We spoke their language right across. And I did that across every platform I marketed. So whether it was online, offline, direct mail, email, phone calls, didn't make a difference. I wanted to make sure every prospect had at least been introduced to us somehow before we even talked to them. Every single one. All right. So it's not a cold call anymore. So here are the results. We were obviously only talking to prospects that wanted to talk to us. Our staff was finally using their time on sales that mattered instead of wasting time on dead leads, AKA internet leads. All right. And I was obviously saving money. So I was happy. The entire office was happier, less stressed, and far more relaxed, which made it a huge, huge difference. And then we also guided them with a great script that was usable in any sales situation, which I can show you how to get that today as well. All right. So let me show you some numbers. So within 30 days, we went from 25 sales a month with 3 sales producers to 54 sales a month with 1 sales producer, then 75, 80, 100, etc. All right. Now, I did not lay off 2 sales producers. What happened was I did that job specification. So I took 2 people, I put them, one in a manager role, one in a customer service role. And then I had the 1 sales producer. And with the processes in place, with the efficiency now done, with the time, with the staff, segmentation, we are able to blow it out of the water. Okay. And we continue to grow month to month after that. Now, without the automated processes, without those black and white processes, without the direct response methods, without the marketing, without everything we just talked about, everything was absolutely, the leads were absolutely nothing. All right. So these processes were really the first documents I ever developed for the underground agency. So because you've hung out for a little bit, do you want to start seeing some of this cool stuff that I promised you if you hung out? Do you guys want to see a copy of the processes? A couple of you guys got them emailed to you, but I want to kind of go over it real quick. You guys want to see that? Yes. Yes. Haven't got any no's yet, so that's good. All right, cool. All right, so let me show you this. Pretty cool stuff. And if you didn't get them emailed, I want you to, here's what I'm going to do real quick. For those of you who did not get these emailed to you, email me. I'm going to put my email address directly. This goes right to me. And email me after the webinar, and I will email those to you. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at these. So number one, get my computer to work, is our follow-up close process. This, guys, was key to sales production. All right, now I put here, I did put mailed sales quote packet. That was for our mailing. This can be used for anything, though, right? So I don't care if it has to do with phone calls, email, social media, whatever the heck you're marketing can go in this orange box up here. All right, that really makes no difference. This is the one for mailings, okay? So I won't go through the whole grid, but you can kind of see what it's all about. Obviously, if you sold it, don't worry about it. If you didn't sell it, but you have a firm appointment, that is a date and a time. Within 2 weeks, it goes up here. If not, there's one of these two reasons. Either they were not interested or not qualified right now, or you couldn't get a hold of them. All right, so I want to focus down at the very bottom. Couldn't get a hold of the customer. That seems to be what happens a lot. What I always did was the follow-up was huge. And let me ask you this question. All right, I got another question. There's a statistic out there. 80% of sales in our business happen after contact number what? After contact number what do 80% of sales happen? I want your guesses. Let's see what we're getting here. Let's see. 55666 436 3 7. All right. A lot of you guys are right. So actually, contact number 5. So 80% of sales happen between contacts 5 and 12. All right. It sounds like a lot of you guys know that, which is awesome. Now, let me ask you this. How many of your staff follow up after 5 times? Do any of them? 3 times even. Okay. So, right, exactly. So we know the amount of follow-ups that it takes to get a sale most of the time, but we just aren't implementing it. Okay. So what this did is put it in front of my sales producers and said, here's the process you are going to follow. Once again, this is one of those black and white processes. Okay. So 7 days, phone call, follow up every 3 days, either leave a message, shoot an email, direct mail, doesn't matter. When I say contacts and follow-ups, it doesn't have to be 5 phone calls. It can be however you're trying to get a hold of them. Okay. All right. So that's the core to the follow-up process. And of course, the other big missed area, which we're going to talk about, is if they're not interested at all or not qualified, we need to make sure we're putting an X date on those, expiration dates, so we can follow up again. And that's where that automation comes in for the requoting. All right. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you guys. The next is, this is by far the agents that work with me, the number one thing that they love, because it's the easiest and most simple cross-sell referral tool you will ever see in your life, and it's super effective. All right, so it's basically a 3W sheet. Now, a lot of us have probably already heard of the 3 Ws, wheels, walls, wealth. We get that. This sheet is simple. It can be used in office, over the phone, or emailed. And it's basically just as you see it. Are we insuring all your wheels, walls, or wealth? Do you understand the coverage on your wheels, walls, and wealth? Would you trust us to insure your friends' families' wheels, walls, and wealth? Several things here, and I probably don't have to point it out to you, but I will real quick. First of all, are we insuring all of your, whatever the W is? If they put a no to that, cross-sell opportunity. Do you understand the coverage on all your W? If they put a no to that, policy review. Let's see. Somebody is saying it's blurry. I'm not sure why it's blurry. Is everybody else seeing it as blurry? Yeah, not sure why. Once again, if you need a copy of it, though, email me. And I can even probably put a link at the end. Okay, so it's blurry for everybody. All right. What I'll do while I'm talking, I will try to get a link so you guys can actually directly pull this guy up. Okay. So anyway, so it goes through, the first question is a cross-sell question. The second question is a review question, which is nice because once we're doing a review, obviously that gives us the opportunity to go ahead and talk about the upsells of maybe a financial product or anything else. And then of course, the last one, would you trust us to ensure your friends or family W? Okay. That means a referral opportunity. And if they put no to that, all right, then you simply ask, well, what can I do to make that different? Right? All right. So a lot of you are not liking how this sheet is. So click on that link that you see and it'll come right up and you can print it out. It's yours to keep. All right. And in fact, that being said, let's just do this. I'm in here anyway. That follow-up process, I call it the sales closing crusher. I'm going to put that up there too. All right, so there's a couple links, guys, of those last two sheets. If you didn't get them already, there you go. They're yours. All right. Always like to give stuff away here. All righty. So anyway, this is the most simplistic, easy way to get cross-sells and referrals from your current client database. And sorry it wasn't legible. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the PowerPoint, guys. And but you'll have, I don't want you to think it's some scam where I'm like going to try to make you buy this one sheet for $1,000. So there it is for free. All right, cool. So this is the other thing that, you know, I put together here. And if you want this, some people like this, some don't. But I'll email it to you. Once again, if you need it, just email me. This is a ROI calculator. And I created this. The formulas are already in this calculator. But the point to this is anytime you're doing any type of direct response, you need to keep track of everything. So I have my dates, the market I was going after, the message, what type of media I used, whether it was direct mail, email, Facebook, whatever, the number I sent out or the number of leads I targeted, the total cost, cost per prospect, leads generation, and the commission earned. Okay? Now, some people don't like to go through that complicated stuff and don't like the numbers. I do, and I feel it's very necessary to keep track of expenses. So if you're one that wants that, email me and say ROI calculator, please. And I'll get that. I'll email that right to you. Obviously, that's free as well. But I don't put it out to everybody because honestly, not everybody likes it, and that's cool, you know. But I will. It's out there for you. And actually, I think maybe I can put, you know, I'll just put a link to it, just like I did with the other ones. Let me just find it real quick here. Appreciate your patience on this. Did those links work? Did anybody try those links out? They work okay? They should. Shouldn't be any issue with it at all. But if not, let me know, and I can email them directly if we need to. But you guys can't see the links I'm putting out there? Oh, I know why. Hold on, guys. All right. First one, ROI calculator. Should see that now. There we go. Now you have them. Second one is the follow-up process. And the last one is the cross-sell and referral. All right, we're back on track. There you go, guys. All right, just a few more minutes, Doug. All right, so let's keep moving. Secret 3, finding leads you already have access to that you never knew about, so you never have to buy a lead or list again. Holes in the bucket. Real quick, I'm not going to read all these, but these are super important because this is where you're going to find leads that you don't have to buy. So the biggest holes in the bucket: no follow-up on referrals, no instant follow-up with new customers, no rescue of lost customers, all right, which is terminated clients. You got to always go back after them. They're actually one of the highest ones and easiest to sell. Follow up on leads after that third contact. You want to go after that. And no capture contact info. Have you ever had a staff member not collect a phone number? I cannot take credit for this picture. That is out of a book, No BS Guide to Direct Marketing by Dan Kennedy. I am going to move a little bit faster just because we kind of held up on the links there. All right. So number one, hack your database, not stealing other agents though. So go through whatever quoting database you use, go through the data mining techniques, which I can show you how to do that. I'll show you how in a little bit. And, go through the different dates, go through your requoting, go through the old follow-ups, go years back. You have so many leads and quotes in your system that you never knew about. All right. So I want you guys to go ahead and allow yourself some time to go through it. Okay. Step two, understanding the awesome tools hidden in your systems that can be combined with data services. Big thing is Sales Genie. What you can do is if you have a do not solicit type of audit you can run through your company, just go in there with a Sales Genie list, find out who was a terminated client with your company. Even if they were a different agent, now it's terminated, so it doesn't matter, so you can get their business back. All right? Develop a flawless requoting process that blows others, such as any services you use, out of the water because they don't always have access to your database. So that's where the X dates come in, and that's where understanding how to hack your system and check out the cool tools. All right. All these equals more time for you to do the important things. Whew. All right. So how much money can you save monthly when you implement this? So we can scratch out internet leads, scratch out SEO. Most of the time, if you're with a company anyway, a large company, they're going to outspend you on SEO anyway. Okay. So really it makes no difference. Paying a telemarketer service. All right. Less staff and paying them fairly, and aimless marketing. We didn't even talk about yellow pages or billboards, but that's expensive. So these are all things that once you do this the right way, guys, you're going to save a lot of money. Me personally, I saved about $6,700 a month and I was writing more business. How crazy is that? And that's the freedom you can get, at least financially. All right. And you can still grow your business. That's 80 grand a year. Who would like an 80 grand a year pay raise? Now, as you can see, once you implement the secrets here in your office, your life and your business can change forever. You got to trust me and believe me on that. All right. Now, go ahead. I want you to take what I've shown you today, and you can go out and start figuring out how to use the secrets. All right. All of you are plenty smart enough and more than capable of doing this. You definitely would not be here if you weren't. Right. However, here's the problem is to create an automated machine like this, like me, can take several years and a lot of money. That is not a lie. I did spend probably about 50 grand in training, when I owned my office to figure all this out. And don't forget, there's a lot of frustration when it comes to trial and error and getting the right message to the market and making sure you're doing it the right way, making sure the processes work. So, your staff's happy and all these pieces fit together. But I want, outside of that, in this time together, has this at least been useful? Did you at least learn something? Did you at least have some sort of an aha moment? I probably a lot of you might be feeling like this donkey here where you're a little overwhelmed. I know I feel like that some days. But do you agree it's at least been a little useful today? All right. Now, of course, we can't cover all of this in a short span. And probably even if I sat with you guys for an entire day, we can't cover all of it. Okay. And I get that. But I do have something that I will give you that gives you all you need to know. And I'd like to kind of show you what that is, if that's okay. All right. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate letting me show this to you. All right. So what I want to show you today is that old habits die hard. What do I mean by that? I mean that when I said in the beginning, we all go to trainings, we all can go to events, we can get all the information we want because there's a lot of good info, but the problem is the implementation. So the last thing I am going to let happen to you today is have this be just another training you sat in on, wasted 50 minutes of your time, and then nothing changes tomorrow. That is the last thing that's going to happen. And I promise you, anytime you sit with me, I will do my darndest not to let that happen. So those old habits do die hard, but we want to kill those habits today. And so that's why I want to introduce you guys to the Underground Agency Playbook. All right. So this is really, really cool. And this is what our community thrives off of. Our agents that work with us and that are successful. This is the playbook is what gets them off the ground floor. All right. So what's in the playbook? So first and foremost, it's that entire process that we use to laser focus our prospects, get the right message, get the right market, and turn them into leads without us having to cold call them. All right. Also, you get an entire HR training department in a box. Those are all the black and white processes done for you. Done. You literally print them out and you hand them to the staff, and you can adjust everything. Everything here is adjustable to your agency, and you can change and modify, but the templates are there. It's absolutely done. It's your own HR training department. And then also in this, all my clients always get hours of coaching updated monthly. All right. So we go over everything, whether it's marketing, whether it's sales, service, retention, whatever the case may be, updated monthly. We get hours of coaching. And the coolest thing, when we talk about that message to market match with the prospects, I already pre-wrote sales templates for you that you customize to your agency. And I have them written out for younger demographics, older demographics, in between, product specific, home, auto, whatever. It's already done. All right. And that trial and error stuff, guys, already done for you, because I figured out what worked and I figured out what didn't work. So you got the best of the best in the playbook. All right. So if you look at buying these things individually, whether from myself or even somebody else, overall, you're looking at a total value, probably about $5,000. All right. A little over that if I'm conservative about it. A couple agents that have sat back typed back to me about their thoughts on it. I don't like reading testimonials, but I'll at least put it out here. We have clients all over the country. They're doing really awesome. And they send me cool notes like this on a daily basis, which is really awesome to hear. And I love seeing their growth. Now, right now, my current clients, I would say 90% are exclusive or independent agency owners. All right. But I do have some financial and life insurance specialists and a few medical and health insurance providers. But majority who this really is geared for, who everything is written for, is independent or exclusive insurance agency owners. All right. That's really the majority of who we cater to. Now, I had two choices when I did this playbook, guys. The first option, I could go really cheap and sell to as many as possible, but I wouldn't have the time or the resources, thus the hours of coaching monthly, the updates that we do constantly on the site with the scripts and everything else, and keeping it up time and time again. The second option was require a little higher investment, but then I get to provide the massive amount of content and the updates all the time. That way, nothing gets stagnant for you. All right. Now, let me ask you a question. After what we talked about today, what would it be worth if you could do all of what we discussed today successfully for just 3 months? 3 months. All right. What would it be worth for a year or maybe 10 years? Or what if you could even just cut out those expenses, write more policies, and you could finally look at that retirement life you wanted? Isn't that why you got into this in the first place? Right? Everybody had a reason they got into it. Maybe to have your family live the life they deserve. And let's talk about your other marketing investments, right? Those paid leads we talked about. How are they going? The SEO or the website, right? Any hard copy ads, newspapers, signage, things like that. The yellow pages, if you're into that stuff, any type of media, what's your return? The beautiful part on this is with direct response marketing and what we teach and how you do it, you can measure your direct return, but you can't with these types of things. Okay, so now you can see I do have some private clients that work with me personally. I go to their office. I set everything up for them from 10 grand. I spend literally 1 day there. But if you had the means, all right, let's say you had a bigger bank account, would you pay 10 grand 1 day that profited you millions over a lifetime? Of course you would. That would be a no-brainer. All right, but I want to make it a little cool for you today, especially you guys were responsive today. So I want to throw in a couple things. So number one, I want to, for the first 20 people that get enrolled in our playbook today, I want to give you our direct response mail package course that will receive wicked high response rates. I'm talking 10 to 15% when the normal is about 1%. I'll show you exactly how we package it, what we put into it, and how you can use it to get people to call you instead of you calling them with direct mail. All right. So now I'm going to put everything else. What you're going to get is that entire process for prospects and the leads, the HR training department in the box, the hours of coaching, pre-written sales templates, and we're going to throw in for the first 20 people today, that bonus one. That's a total value of $5,685. All right, here's Marie from New Jersey, and she kills me because she loved it so much. She said just the training video that taught her how to get leads without paying for them, just that one little piece of it is worth the price alone. All right, so that's what Marie said. She's in New Jersey. Now, I also want to do something for the first 15 that buy today. So they'll get everything, but they'll also get bonus too, which is really awesome. That's my 3 premium masterclasses. That's our follow-up masterclass, our social media hacks masterclass, and creating your own sales letter masterclass. That's for the first 15 people. All right, and that's about $1,000 value. So I'll put everything back up here that you're going to get. And for the first 15, you're going to also get that bonus number 2 in here. All right, total value $6,682. All right, and then lastly, for the first 10 people, we're going to do this. And I haven't done this before, but bonus number 3, you're going to get our complete marketing campaign video series blueprint, so you can sell to any prospect, and that's going to start you closing leads at a 40% or more rate. That's only for the first 10 people that take advantage today. All right, so let's go over what you're going to get, the entire process for prospects to leads, HR training in a box, hours of coaching, pre-written sales templates, bonus 1, 2, and 3 if you're the first 10 people, bonus 1 and 2 if you're the first 15, and bonus 1 if you're the first 20. Total value today of $10,679. Now, what if all this did would give you the kick in the butt you need to run your business like you've always imagined and give you some accountability? Wouldn't that be awesome, you guys? Finally doing it for the reason you got into it in the first place. Maybe if all it did was cut out 80 grand in expenses a year, would it be worth it? Maybe to make it so you wouldn't have to worry about your staff on a daily basis, get that stress out of your way, or free up your time. Remember, we talked about that time. Okay, time as a business owner, and the office was still making money. How cool would that be? Now, you could see why this is a good deal if I offered it at $10,000, right? Which I could probably justify. All right. But because you're here, I do want to give you a special offer today because you did sit through this whole thing and you guys have been a very active audience. I want to give you a one-time cost of $297 today for the Underground Agency. Okay. So let me put this up here. All right. So $297, lifetime access. Now, what's cool about this, and I'm going to go for just a second, what I want to do for you guys is before I put this up here, I want to show you what the Underground Agency actually looks like, okay? And I want to take you to it. Now, usually, I'll be honest, we sell this, and this is kind of embarrassing. We sell this usually at $397. Here's the deal, and I'm literally doing this as we're talking. My bad, I screwed up. We actually sell this at $397. I did not change. We bumped the price a couple weeks ago, and I did not change the PowerPoint slide. Not lying. So right now, I am actually, instead of going back on my word, I just told you guys $297 instead of $397. I am actually going to go to the page as we are talking, and I'm going to edit it to only charge you $297, but it's going right back to $3. And this is a 100% true story. This is what I'm doing right now. Okay. So in fact, to just have you believe me, I want to show you guys as I do this. I've never done this before in a live web event, but I made a mistake and we're all human, right? So here's my editor. See, one-time payment, $397. I'm going to take that out for you guys today. And I'm only going to leave this up for an hour. Because I'll lose a lot of money. So we're going to do that. I'm going to save it. We're going to exit out of here. And I'm going to make sure. See this price right here, $397? That's usually what it is. But I'm going to make sure that if you do this today, not just today, but immediately, I've changed it to $297 because I made a PowerPoint mistake. All right. So there's the offer, guys. And I screwed up. That's my fault. And go ahead and take advantage. Take advantage of it. Update product. And show. All right. There you go. All right. So sorry about that, guys. It is now $297, and it will change very shortly. Okay. All right. So anyway, back to the presentation. So it's a 30-day money back guarantee. All right. And mistakes happen. So now it's only $297. So there you go. Cool deal. All right. So time versus money. Let's take a look at something. So, what I like to think about is money is replenishable. We get it every single month. Time is not. So if you can spend a couple bucks right now to get more time, your time you can't get back, but your money you can. So my thought is if I can spend a couple bucks to get a lot more time for now into the future, why wouldn't I do that? Because money is replenishable. All right. So real quick, what you're going to get, the entire process we use to gain thousands of prospects, turn them into leads, HR training department in a box, hours of coaching updated monthly, pre-written sales templates done for you and customized to surge your response rates. First 20 people will get bonus 1. First 15 get bonus 1 and 2. First 10 get bonus 1, 2, and 3. Total value $10,679. Okay. Yes, lifetime means forever. One-time payment. So yes, no tricks, no monthly, no nothing. It's one-time payment. That's it. Okay. Good question though. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Maybe a lot of you read this book. One thing I love that he said, poor people spend money on liabilities such as cars, boats, toys. Wealthy people spend money on assets. That's business investments, education, things of that nature. And it took me a long time to really figure that out. Right. But, when I really thought about it and I invested in the training, it made a huge, huge difference. Out that 50 grand I invested, I easily have tenfolded that. So, it's a big difference on what people will spend money on and how successful they be. So you want to click the offer button to your right. For now, like I said, after this is done, I'm bumping it back to the $397. Okay. This is another quick testimonial. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the site real quick while you guys are reading that, so I can just kind of show you what it's all about. All right. So let's take a look at what you actually will get once you are on the playbook. Let me show you what it looks like. All right. So, excuse me, guys. So here's the playbook. All right. So all these open up. Okay. So let's say you're one of the first 10. Okay. And you get all the bonuses. So you have all your training secrets. All right. So you have all the information to mine your prospects, what type of messages you want to send, the campaign, how to package everything. There's that insurance calculator, our 2 golden scripts. All right. That'll make your sales producers just be able to talk to anybody and have a super awesome sales conversation. All the templates. All right. So you got all your sales templates. If we click on this, auto home, we have stuff, to show people you're the expert, shopping sheets, the closing crusher, post sales, your agency intro letter. If you work on eAgent, I got an email sequence for you. That's really awesome. Long form sales letter. Okay. Those templates are for marketing, and I have your staff templates, right? The black and white processes, what you're going to hand to your staff and say, listen, guys, here's what you're accountable for. I got my comp structures down here, commission trackers. And if you are into telemarketing, I got a couple awesome scripts there for you too. All right. And then obviously if you took advantage of the bonuses, you're going to get the master classes. So you're going to get the follow-up and close class, social media class, writing sales letters. We got some partners we work with stuff that'll cut your time. And here's the hours and hours of coaching that we put out there for you. Got my podcast and, a little extra stuff here at the bottom. So we won't get into that. But if you're an Allstate agent, you will love that. Okay. Even if you're not, you'll learn a lot from those. So, all right. So I hope that kind of shows you a little bit of, what that looks like. And we update it pretty frequently. Okay. All right. So real quick, let me go back to the presentation, and we're almost done here, guys. All right. So now you have 2 choices, really. The first option is do nothing. Don't take this tiny little leap of faith. You'll wake up tomorrow in the same position as today. But my question to you is, why are you here? All right. So I'm guessing it's because you wanted something different, and that's what we're aiming to do for you today. Your second option is pony up a little investment with a 30-day money-back guarantee compared to all the value you'll get in return and simply give it a shot. I'm guessing you've spent a lot more for a lot less, like 20 internet leads, or even less now because the price got lowered, right? So click the offer button to your right and take advantage of this really special pricing today. So here's my other guarantee for a year. First of all, if you can't get the compelling message figured out for your prospects, I will work with you one-on-one to get it right. Second, if your sales producers still are not closing at higher rates or just not getting it, I and my team will work with them one-on-one personally. And if you're not able to show any improvement in sales numbers, I will give you continuous one-on-one coaching every step of the way. So click the offer button to your right. I think we are out of bonus number 3s. Or no, we have me. Yeah, I think we're out of it. Doesn't tell me real time here. So the real question is it worth a few minutes of your time and a few dollars just to check it out? I mean, imagine, guys, if it just gives you half the results, it's paid for itself in like a month. All right. And you have 30 days to say, I don't like it. Now, there's 2 people I consider. All right. The first guy on your left, that's not the guy I like working with. He's frustrated every single month. He wants to sit on web trainings like this, read a bunch of stuff, never take action. And then there's people like us, people on the right that love taking action, have results happen, make it happen. All right. Those are the people I love working with. Okay. And that's you. And that's the people I want to work with. That's me. And those are the ones that really make this effective. So please take advantage, click the button to your right, and purchase now. 30-day money back guarantee. Now, today, webinar only, $297 lifetime access. So real quick, because my voice is running out, I'm just going to put up here everything you get of a total value of $10,679. All right. Awesome. So PowerPoint mistake is $100 in your favor today if you decide to take advantage of it. And I promise you, we do these about once every week or so. If you come back the next time, that will be $397 because that's the first thing I'm doing when I hop off of this today. I'm changing that because everybody else is having to buy it at $397 because we, like I said, we up the price on the new quarter. So, all right. Now, I'm not unique or special. I personally have never been the smartest in the room. Like seriously, it took me 4.5 years to get an associate's degree. I spent 10 plus years of trial and error to discover these secrets that I'm giving you today for a very small investment. Now, you can spend countless hours and even more money to do it the hard way, or be a part of this underground agency mastermind we've developed of agents. All right. We even have a private Facebook group. Doesn't cost you anything. Private Facebook group that you'll get invited to that you can share ideas with everybody else, which is really cool. But why are you on today? Is it because you think your agency is hitting on all cylinders and you don't need to change anything? Or are you trying to find some new stuff that will work for you? Okay. I'm going to guess it's the second answer. All right. So click the button to your right and take advantage of this offer today of $297. Can't believe I made that mistake, but you get a lifetime access. Don't ever have to pay again, and don't ever have to pay again, and 30-day money back guarantee. And here's everything you're going to get for it. Okay. All right, for $297. So what you're going to do next, before we do this, and I really mean before you are off this, click that button, because guess what? It's going to be changed very shortly after I close this presentation down. Now, if you didn't sign up immediately, reason one, I'm going to guess you've been jaded by insurance marketing tricks in the past. I have too. That's why I put a 30-day no question money back guarantee on it. Right? Because if you think it's a trick or a scam and it's not working, I'll give you your money back. Not a lot of people take that offer, which is I'm very happy about, but it's there. I want you to have security in buying my stuff. All right. And I want you to show, I want to show you that my coaching is good because quite frankly, I have other services. And if I can't show you that I'm effective with this one, then what good am I? Reason number two, you think it's too much to do and don't think your agency can handle it. That's why I have a lifetime access to it, because now you don't have to worry about paying monthly and wasting it. You can do it at your own pace. Obviously quicker is better, but you can do it at your own pace and your staff can do it. Or you think it's too expensive. Honestly, and this, I usually actually even say this at $397, but even $397, $297, if it's something that can change your life and your agency, that's not too expensive. I can't really overcome that. This is not an auto insurance quote. I can't overcome that because as a business owner, you know what kind of money you spent on stuff that hasn't even come close to working, that didn't have a guarantee for you. And you've already seen what this thing can do, what this playbook can do for your agency. So there's real no overcoming that objection. It's just you having to come to terms with this. This is something that is going to make a difference. And it has for hundreds of agents already. So click the offer button to your right. And you can get all of this today. I don't know where we're at with the bonuses, but you'll see. All right, we are out of the first 10, but we still have one left of the first 15. Okay, and which means that first 20 is going to run out here soon. Total value $10,679. One-time cost of today $297. All right, guys, I thank you so much for attending. If you have questions, email me. I know some of you already did, but here's the deal is if you didn't buy now on the webinar, it is going to go back to the $397 price. So I hate to be like this, but If you email me later and, in 2 hours and say, can I still get it for $297? I, unfortunately, to the fairness of everybody else that's buying not on this, I have to say no. I will have to say $397. But if you bought now, cool. And I welcome you to our community. It's going to be awesome to have you aboard. And, I am here if you need anything. And I'm not one of those coaches that just disappears. I want to make sure you implement this. So, guys, that's all I got for today. I appreciate you hanging out with me, spending this hour, and I will talk to you later. I'll leave this up for a few more minutes, and have an awesome, amazing rest of your day. Get some sales, and, tell your staff no more cold calling as of today. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.